Yes, welcome to another video. I'm Lewis, above me Jordan. This is the main issue. We got to play Man United on Sunday. We got to play them, unfortunately. I know we don't want to. In fact, I kind of do want to, you know what I mean? It's a bit of a tricky situation, you know what I mean?
Because are they there for the taking?
They're there for the taking, but they were there for the taking last time we played them in the league, and we sort of just killed it off a little bit, which was a bit disappointing. However, you can't really complain because now we're cruising. But yeah, I always feel like a little bit tricky when we play United, because especially under Ollie, you know what I mean? Because if we beat them, then it risks Ollie getting sacked, which I don't want, because he's at the wheel and, you know, they ain't going places, you know what I mean? You always say, oh, a car goes A to B. They're just stuck at A and they'll never get to B with Ollie at the wheel. So
stalling, isn't it?
It's a bad situation, whereas if they beat us, I'm like, nah, I don't want to get beat, but then it keeps Ollie in a job, which is, you know, he ain't going to do anything there. Anyway, let's get into the whole purpose of this video, by the way, is about what Pep does, or what should City do in terms of the striker position. Now, obviously, we've seen so many different options. We're going to focus on three, which is either Gabriel Jesus, scored 2 in the last game, Sergio Aguero, or you could play the false 9. Now, we're not going to speak about individually who's going to play the false 9 because there's so many different options. We're just going to talk about the system as a whole. So let's start off, first of all, with Gabriel Jesus. He's the one who started in the last game. Bit of a mixed game from my point of view from Gabby. I thought, you know, his movement was decent. It was okay. Yeah. I thought he got through on goal once or maybe twice where he should have really done a lot better than he did. And sort of, you know, the whole, is he a striker, is he not a striker debate started again because he's, you know, he didn't just bang it, which he should have done. But then he crops up 2 very important goals. Obviously, the first one was incredibly important. And you sat there going, he might frustrate you at times, but he's getting your goals. And, you know, they're the pros and cons. So
the pros and cons in one sentence, isn't it? Basically, with Gabby, he will miss chances. It's just that is it.
Yeah.
At this current stage of Gabby's career, he's going to miss chances, and you're going to get frustrated. However, he's also scoring goals. Look at the past few games. He is getting goals. Mm-hmm. It's just how many chances is it going to take for him to get them goals, and can that be afforded against the bigger teams? Do you know what I mean? So if you say it's Champions League final, Gabby goes through 1-on-1. You need him to score that. You need him because you don't know how many situations you're going to get into there. And the same against United, whereas we've seen him play a lot of times. It's very boring football. It's boring football. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to slate him in it, but it is boring football.
Oh, go ahead, bro.
And basically, it's going to be a situation where we've got to break them down, and they're going to counter-attack us. It's just one of them. And if we're going to break them down, Gabby goes through 1-on-1. You don't know you don't know how many chances you're going to get against this because they're not going to play open. So
for me, if Gabby plays, which I'm fine with, by the way, I ain't against him playing, I'm just saying to him, get in the penalty area. You know, look at where
he's getting his goals from. Yeah,
look at where your goals are coming from, Gabby. You're not bagging from 30 yards. You're not scoring from outside the box. You're scoring from inside the 6-yard area.
Poacher.
So get in there. You know, goals that are springing to mind. Obviously, the goal in the last game, the Sheffield United goal. You know, 2 goals there that are springing to my mind instantly, and he's literally yards away from the goal. I don't want to see him coming deep. I actually don't think he's that bad at coming deep. I think he holds onto the ball very well. He needs to let go of it, you know, quicker, which we mention all the time. But he's actually pretty decent at that.
Yeah, good.
But you don't get goals 40 yards away from their net. So I say to him, if you're going to play, get on him, press Maguire, and get in the penalty area. You know, he's very good heading the ball as well. So that's where I want to see him, not 40 yards away, where he's making no impact on the game. That's not where I want to see him.
Yeah, I agree.
Sergio Aguero is obviously a second choice. Now, minutes wise, I think he got like 10 minutes in one game, and then he started a game, played 60 minutes, and then didn't get on the pitch in the last game. So in terms of fitness, you'd say, okay, he's probably fit, he's probably ready to go, but match sharpness, which I think is something different to sort of like fitness, he's probably not quite there. You know, he's probably at like 50-60% max. I think he probably takes another 4 or 5 games. So in terms of maybe, you know, in terms of his match sharpness, will he be ready? You know, if a ball snaps to him, will he have it basically to do something with the ball? We don't really know. You know what I mean? It's not to say that he can't do it or that he won't be able to do it. It's just say we can't guarantee that he will because he's not played that many minutes. The pros, obviously, do we really need to go over them? He's been playing for City now for 10 years? We all know if he gets a chance, he's gonna score. And I think, to be honest, on a crutch, he could probably score in front of goal. It doesn't matter about his fitness. Sergio Aguero in front of goal is absolutely deadly. So, like in that situation that he was talking about, breaking down United, if a chance falls to Sergio Aguero, and he might only get one in the whole game, you're going to back him to score, and that's why it's so tempting to start him in this game. What do you lose, though, bro? What would you lose from having Sergio Aguero in the team, maybe as opposed to Gabby?
Yeah, you lose, I think, the relentless kind of pressing abilities of Gabby, and especially with Sergio not quite being the Matt Sharpness. Yes, he's fit. Matt Sharpness, I mean, Gabby might be a bit faster onto things than Aguero would be. I mean, seeing the game in that, but is that such a bad thing sometimes? Sometimes actually having your striker in the box, like you've just been talking about, they kind of go hand in hand with each other. Kind of makes sense, innit? You know what I mean? You want Aguero up there. You don't want him to be running about because that's risking himself getting injured. And you don't want that. With Gabby, we know he is relentless when it comes to defending, winning the ball back early. If he loses the ball, he's straight on it, which is where I think Pep loves Gabby for that. I think he said before he's the best in the world at like his pressing abilities are next level. So playing Aguero, you are going to miss out on all that. However, you know what I mean, that's just one of the cons. However, the pros, I'm not saying they outweigh the cons. However, the pros are that you will back him to finish his chances.
Yeah.
It is a difficult one, and like you say, Aguero at the moment is rusty, just like Kev is at the moment. He's been rusty for the past few games, but you know what I mean, they're slowly getting back to it, and we've seen it year after year that this is standard Aguero. It takes him time to get back to full flowing Aguero, so. It's a risk. It is a risk. Both sides, you've got risks.
Standard procedure. The third and final choice, there probably is more choices to be fair, but these are the three. That's four. This is three. These are the three ones that you'd expect. And as we say, we're not going to go in this last one. We're not going to talk about the different players that could play false nine because we've seen so many different players play the false nine. We're going to talk about the system. Now, what does the system give you? The system gives you control of the ball, domination of the football, and basically you can suffocate the opposition by just having the ball, right? So that's great because obviously if you have the ball, you're hopefully going to create more chances, and you're going to struggle to concede if you have the football. So that's a good thing. Also, what it does is it creates havoc for their centre backs because they're not marking anyone. And if you've ever played centre back, even if it's just for a school team, and there's no one in front of you, but there's a guy maybe 10, 15 yards in front of you who's not being marked, you're like, oh, what do I do?
It pulls you.
Do I go in, which then I'm leaving a massive gap in behind, or do I stay here, keep disciplined in my shape, but then allow, I don't know, Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo, just basically a free 5 yards on the ball? So it's a tricky one. What does it not give you though, bro? What does a false nine not give you? What's the con for that?
I mean, the first thing is it just doesn't give you a striker, does it? But
exactly. Crosses across the box, 6 yard area, great crosses. Sterling, Foden, Mahrez, no one there. That'll happen all the time.
And we've seen it. We've seen it a lot of times where the ball just fizzles past, and you're just like, if someone was only there to tap it in. But also, I would say that when you do play Gabby as a striker, that also happens because Gabby drops deep in it, almost like a false nine sometimes. But it is difficult, it is difficult because obviously you're not going to have the striker up there, but you do compact that midfield out and you do control the possession. But then, look, if you look at the way United are going to play, they're just going to sit back and hit us on the counter. Do you need to have an extra man in midfield there with the false nine, or do you need to maybe have a striker in the box?
You could also argue, though, that could be a pro, because if you lose the ball in the final third of United's box,
you suffocate them.
You're going to have more players around basically the player who plays the long ball, which is probably going to be McTominay, Fred or Matic. It's going to be one of them three who's going to just get the ball and just launch it up to Rashford. So if you have more players in and around those players, they've not got enough time to get their head up, and you can get on them straight away and force it back to De Gea or Henderson, whoever's playing. So, again, pros and cons to that. I think, for me, the main con is that you've got no one in the box, and you'll see them crosses going in time after time. And it probably happens more often in a false nine situation. You just get a ball whipped across the 6 yard area and no one there to tap it in, probably because you're playing a false nine situation. But you do dominate the football, and Pep loves that. Pep loves to have control of the ball, so I would not be surprised to see him play that one. Which one he decides, I don't know. I've not decided yet. We're going to make our decision when we do our preview video, which will come out tomorrow, which will be, what, Saturday for you guys. And then obviously we'll tell you which way we think you should go. But yeah, let us know in the comment section below. How do you think we should set up Gabby, Aguero, false 9? Do you think there's another option that we've missed maybe that we should consider? Let us know in the comment section below, because it is an interesting one. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you have, make sure you leave a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. We'll be doing a pre-Derby Day phone-in show, which is Friday evening. If you're watching this after Friday, then it'll already be recorded. Go check it out. But yeah, for you extra club members that want to have your say pre-Derby Day, hopefully see you there. And yeah, hope you've enjoyed it, guys. We'll catch you in the next one.